Welcome to QMath. This is our lesson on equivalent ratios. What will this video cover? We're going to learn what equivalent ratios are and how to use equivalent ratios to solve problems. So, what are equivalent ratios? Equivalent ratios are just ratios that are equal to each other, and they're very similar to equivalent fractions. For example, similarly to how 2 over 4 is equal to 1 over 2, 2 colon 4 is equal to 1 colon 2. So, we can see if ratios are equal by turning them into fractions. For example, we're going to solve this problem. Which of the following ratios are equal to 5 colon 7, which we can turn into 5 over 7. And these are our four answer choices, which we've turned into fractions here. We have 15 over 21, 10 over 7, 15 over 28, and 10 over 21. Now we test if they're equal. And the way we're going to do that is using these yellow fractions that we've put in the middle here. And these yellow fractions are what we have to multiply the first fraction by to get to the second fraction. And we can figure this out by seeing, well, what do we need to multiply 7 by to get a 21? And that's obviously 3. Or we can just divide 21 by 7 to get 3. And we do this for every single denominator and numerator for all four of the answer choices until we have all of our yellow fractions in the middle. And we have 3 over 3, 3 over 2, 3 over 4, and 2 over 3. And because 3 over 3 is the only yellow fraction that is equal to 1, our answer is A. And we're looking for the fraction that is equal to 1 because keep in mind that anything multiplied by 1 is itself, and that's how we know that they're equal. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and answer the question. Do you have your answer? We're going to go over it now. So we have our yellow fractions once again by dividing the second fraction by the first fraction. And this time we have 4 over 5, 3 over 5, 4 over 4, and 5 over 4. And because 4 over 4 is the only yellow fraction that's equal to 1, our answer is C this time. Using equivalent ratios to solve problems. You are going to make cookies for a bake sale, and you found a recipe that makes 24 cookies, but you need 120. This recipe that makes 24 cookies calls for 2 eggs and 3 cups of sugar. So, how many eggs and sugar do you need for 120 cookies? So, let's solve for the eggs first. And as you can see, we've set our ratios up over here. The numerators are the number of eggs, the denominators are the number of cookies. So we need 2 eggs to make 24 cookies. And on the right side here, we don't know how many eggs we need to make 120 cookies. So, similar to the problems that we did before, we divide 120 by 24, and now we know that this yellow fraction's denominator is 5. And because the fractions had to be equal, the denominator has to be the same as the numerator. So our yellow fraction is 5 over 5. And now we just need to multiply 2 times 5 to get x, which is our number of eggs. And that is obviously 10. So we know that we need 10 eggs to make 120 cookies. Now let's solve for the sugar. So recall the original recipe calls for 3 cups of sugar. So it's the same thing, except that we have 3 here instead of 2. So we multiply 3 times 5 to get y, our cups of sugar, which is 15. So the answer to the problem is that we need 10 eggs and 15 cups of sugar to make 120 cookies. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and answer the question. You have your answer? We're going to go over it now. So let's set up a ratio. The denominator is minutes while the numerator is your miles. So you can go 8 miles in 10 minutes, and you don't know how many miles you can go, x, in 40 minutes. So we divide 40 by 10, we get 4 here, and the numerator also has to be 4 then. So now we have 8 times 4 is equal to x, and we know 8 times 4 is equal to 32. So in 40 minutes, you can go 32 miles. That concludes this video. I hope you learned something.